Hello everyone, it's Andy Glenn here, welcoming you all to another Sharks TV podcast. It's the usual Coach's Corner, and I'm joined by Martin Grubb. Martin, been a good week, hasn't it?
It's been a good week, Andy, yes. I feel like I should say happy birthday to somebody at the start again, because the last couple of weeks it's worked for us, so whoever's birthday is happy birthday.
Right, comments, happy birthday. Whose birthday is it this week to say happy birthday? Because we're obviously looking for another 4-point weekend. I mean, I was looking through the stats, 7 wins out of the last 9, just been beaten by Leeds and Telford, 5 wins on the trot and still unbeaten in 2024. It's pretty good.
It's a good start. Yeah, I mean, it's... I think that's been the thing, isn't it? You and I have been on here, pretty much every week. We've had the interviews in the bar and the social media and everything that we put as a club. And I get it, right? We preach trust the process, bit of patience, and there was nobody more frustrated than me when it was taking a wee bit longer than I would like. But for the top, all the way down, we've said we'd get it right. And so far in 2024, and probably just before that, maybe going back to the Raiders away, we seem to have found a different gear, found a way to win ugly at times, and we're in a good spot right now. We're in a position that we're in control of our own destiny, which is a good place to be. But we're not getting carried away with ourselves. We know it's still hard work every week, but it's a good team to play for right now, and long may it continue.
Everybody seems to be having a smile on their face and enjoying their hockey. I mean, we kind of spoke after the whole game at home where we pulled the keeper and 2 down. That could have been a season defining, a real step forward, and it's proved to be so far. But we play the Steel Dogs this weekend, and I'll tell you now, everybody online is giving it, well, they're almost counting the points in the bag, but we know you never take anything for granted, and we don't want any good work to be undone. What potentially could be a slippery game for us, because we've not beaten the Steel Dogs in regulation. We beat them in pre-season, and that's been it this season, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, regardless of what's happening in Sheffield right now, for me it's nothing more than just a little bit of slump. We've been on it. We've lost quite a few games in a row. Telford won a little bit of slump before they come here, and unfortunately for us, they won that game and kind of broke their little slump. So teams always have slumps throughout the season at some point. And Sheffield have got some good hockey players there. They're a hard-working team. That's the one thing that everybody says. And you've got to remember that just a couple of years ago they were winning the playoffs in this league. They were in cup finals. They're an established team. So for us, we go and we show them the same respect as we show everybody. And we solely concentrate on ourselves, to be honest. And we've always said, and I continue to preach to the players, that if we concentrate on ourselves and do our job, we'll always have a chance of winning. So, that's kind of the same situation for us. We won't look past the first period of that Saturday game at this stage. But we know it is a big weekend for us, because it's probably a slightly different pressure for us this week. We spoke a little bit about it on Saturday with the players. When you beat Leeds on the Friday, you go into that and beat Bristol twice before. You go into that weekend in a different spot where we were actually probably going in as the first time as favourites. And obviously, as the new team, you come in and you're used to playing a little bit as the underdog. So it's a different pressure, but as a group, we've always said that pressure is a privilege. We've put ourselves in that spot, so we'll have to learn to play that way this weekend, where people online and our own fans, rightly so, it's great to get excited and look at saying we might be the favourites, but we'll do our job. We'll do exactly what we've been doing for the last wee while. The players are all super focused, and ultimately we'll hopefully, like we've said every week, we'll hopefully come back with 4 points.
Well, we know there's a good few fans going to Sheffield away on the Saturday, and half-price tickets on the Sunday here. But also, it's the game that we're going to be wearing the Pride jerseys, which you can see behind us. And this, they look quite cool, don't they?
Yeah, they're nice. Like, I think that, to be honest, let's be really honest, every jersey we've had this year, from warm-up right the way through to our special jerseys, and this and our one, everything's looked unbelievable. And I think this and our jersey, it's a celebrated week across hockey. Obviously, we want to make sure the sport's inclusive for everybody. So we'll celebrate that. We'll wear these nice jerseys, and hopefully they bring us a bit of luck.
Absolutely, and you can get your hand on these jerseys right after the game on Sunday. Big Owen's going to be doing the auctioneering up in the bar afterwards, and you can grab yourself a bargain. The players will be up there with their jerseys that they've just worn, and if you're successful in your bid in an auction to get one of those jerseys, player will be there to hand it over to you in person. You can get it signed, get your picture taken. Sounds like a deal. So get yourself up to the bar on Sunday for those. I'm also going to speak to the fans just before we go on, because we've got cram this whole last two games into Coach's Corner. I know Darren Brady's wanting like 2 hours of us talking, but we kind of do that. We kind of do that. Maybe another time. But thank you for the people who have contacted me over this week, particularly the new fans. There's been a number of new fans that have spoke to me in person and also sent me some messages saying they really, really enjoy Coach's Corner because it's helping them understand the game a little bit more and hearing directly from the coach. That's what it's all about. So thank you for your comments. And, if you're new to the sport, new to coming along, watch us on the channel and you'll learn a little bit more about the tactics and how Martin thinks. But we're going to go back to the Leeds game Friday night, 7:30, Shark Tank. First period, just wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think we went there on Boxing Day. And, initially we said, busy festive period, we had a good result in Romford. We need to at least compete and continue to close the gap, if you like, performance-wise on these top-end teams. And I thought we played relatively well that night. We have the post in the bar a couple of times. On another night, we might have been playing for something extra. So we knew, like we spoke during the week, in practice, we prepared. We've got nothing to fear for anybody. Like our group now is growing every week. We've got the ability, and we've always said it about trusting that process where it's just the little things. It's cutting out some of the individual errors. It's striking when we're on top. You kind of need to score. And I thought we went in full of confidence. We kind of discussed about taking and continuing the form, taking it into that game, and maybe try to make that statement where it was almost a free hit, because probably everybody outside of Dumfries was thinking Leeds would win the game. And obviously they're a quality hockey team, and we knew we had to start well. And you get one goal up, you expect a pushback. We scored really quickly again, obviously in that second goal. So we got ourselves in a good spot. Again, we discussed that pushback, and it came. And they do score in bunches. But at that stage, we probably could have folded. And again, we've said this numerous times on this podcast that maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, we would have got beat. And we've been here. I think we were tying with Leeds the last time we were here, and we got beat 4-0 in the last period. So it was very simply win a period. You get something out of the game and a chance to play a bit of bonus hockey as a minimum. And credit to the boys. Obviously, they've dug deep. They've weathered some storms at times. But I thought we were good value for it. We go overtime. Both goalies were very good in overtime. Both teams had chances. And then, we needed Curtis to shut the door for us in the shootout. And he did, on obviously all bar that one for Mac. Scotty was huge, because as soon as they go that one up, we miss the next one. I think Wessa goes to win it, even though he did still. But right back, Scotty does what Scotty does as a shooter. And then obviously Big Mace done his thing. He gave me the eye. I've seen it before against Spain and Lithuania. So
what do you mean he gave you the eye?
He just looked at me and gave me that smile and said he wanted to go. And I know him well enough, and I've known him long enough to know that when you see that twinkle in his eye, you let him go. And
so why was he no in the first 5? Or was it just to give you the eyes after the first 5?
Yeah, I mean, I think like anybody, I suppose it's like any sport. If there's a kind of shootout, a sudden death type exposure, it's you go with who wants to go. I mean, there's somebody like Lewis Young, straight away, I'm first. Confident, feeling it, wanted to be there. And as a bench, even I don't have to do that much in that situation, because the players kind of manage that. And I've got a couple of guys I think that I want to go. Peaks straight away. It was like traditionally I'm not great in a shootout. Of course I want to go, and I will go if you tell me, no problem. But we had guys that wanted to go. He was ready to go after Mace as well. But I guess him and Mace also watched what was going on. They watched Gospel. They watched our shooters. They watched kind of why we weren't converting. Mace obviously was feeling it at that stage and seen what he wanted to do. I personally wanted him to move the goalie, make Gospel move, and the Scottish shot was a good shot, but the rest of them, they all hit him. Well, Callie hit the bar, but we never really moved him enough, and obviously the big guy was feeling it. And as I say, when you see that little twinkle in his eye and that smile, you let him go, and he was the coolest man in the building, wasn't he? He just went down, shake and bake, and
it was great.
Done the net. So
well, we'll look at them in a minute through your coach's eye, but I wanted to ask you a question about the second period. So we're 2-0 at the end of the first. They come back, score 3 quite quick goals. Yeah. Did you think? I was wondering if you were going to call a timeout after the 3 goals. Did that cross your mind, or did you just want to save that for later on, or were you still quite comfortable about what was happening?
Yeah, I was all right. I think it was just individual errors. If it had been a kind of capitulation of systems and structure, we might have. I think if they scored another one, 100%. But in my head, and I think it's probably a change again in where this team's allowed us to think. I thought, we might need this time out later. A bit like Hull, we needed it. Like Bristol, we needed it. I thought we might need it in a positive situation. I never ever seen that game running away for us to have to calm anything down. The bench was composed. They were listening, and we as I say, we kind of knew that early in the season that panic might have set in as a group. We lost 3 quick goals. We're playing against a good team. It might have been let's kind of stop the rot here. At no point on Friday did I feel that at any point that we needed that time out. As I say, I thought somewhere down the line we might need it to either win a game, or if it was just a 1-goal game at that stage, you might need it. So that was kind of thinking behind it. And I think it's the players that deserve credit for that, because if they had been losing kind of their heads a little bit, I would have took it, obviously. But yeah, I think we were relatively comfortable in that situation, and we were still creating loads of chances. So,
well, proved to be the wise decision, and I think as a kind of measure of how far the team's come, you're saying you trust that team. When I was working with Owen on the live stream, we kind of said at the end of the first period. I mean, I think I said it was like when Scotland scored against Brazil in the 82 World Cup. We've angered them type thing, and you expected a bounce back. But to be fair, at the end of the second, I said exactly the same thing to Owen, in that I expect a bounce back from the Sharks, having lost that period 3-0. It's the nature of the team. It's what we've talked about so many times, that Sharks attitude of 1-2 goals in it, we're still in this, and you better be wary of us. And so it proved. Let's go through the goals from, or the incidents from that game, Martin, with your intelligence and your critical eye on the plays.
Yeah, I think that this first one, obviously we're on the power play at this stage. We're moving the puck. We're trying to get that look to Callie, which was there a few times. I think the difference was that we make a really good pass there, but we just fight for that second puck. Guardsy's right in front, and there was a desire to stick it in the net, whereas some of the power plays before we've maybe not had that. This one again, Mr. D zone, we're making sure we're getting to loose pucks. Arcee is always composed. Dunny and Callie going down, and that for me, it's a great finish. You see the water bottle go, it's right in the top corner. You got to be good to beat Gospel. I think Callie's made that wee bit of difference. You get to this second period. This is the one that, as I say, it kind of annoys me, but it's on our stick there. We make a turnover needlessly. Then we've got it on our stick here, it doesn't go out the zone. Then we've got it on our stick again, it doesn't go, and it ends up on Matt Haywood's stick and in our net. And I guess when you spoke about the timeout, that part was individual errors. So we can always get back for this. We get sucked over a little bit. Like if I kind of stop it here from a coaching point of view, we're in a half decent spot. And we've got a kind of, see for the cursor, but you've got a 3-on-3 kind of going on here. Mace is holding the middle to make sure whatever's up here is protected. Scotty's in the dot lane, so kind of where we need to be, we're in a decent spot. Then we just get a little bit puck focused here. Mason tries to take the guy at the net front, and we forget about Jordan Griffin sneaking down the back. And again, it's one you might not want to concede, but It's not a horrendous situation for us. This one, I just think again, Curtis is in a good spot there. He has to scramble a wee bit. Him and Arcee get tangled up, and it stops him moving. So you're kind of at that stage going, right, yeah, we're 3-2 down, but there was never any panic. We needed to win the third period. That was the whole discussion. You know, you win a period, you get something out of it. And we talked about going north. The rebound for Curtis, first thing Scotty does is go north. And, you know, Nolan's been really good at that shot, coming in late and kind of picking a corner. And we knew where we were going. We obviously when we go to the shootout. I'm not sure how much of the whole shootout they're going to show, but this one's Nolan's that can make a save.
Curtis was top quality in the shootout.
Yeah, and obviously Mac picks a good corner there, to be fair to him, and
yeah, but he done the same move on Curtis in the sudden death, and Curtis had learned from it, didn't he? He tried to go the same.
Yeah, tried to go across, and you know, for that situation, we're one down. Scotty straight away looked. We knew kind of he was already going to go next. The big man can shoot the puck, so just told him to make sure he used that shot, and it's a really good shot. And I think this one will show. It just shows the composure that we've got. And like you say, Mac. The only difference, he goes across him this time. Here's the big man coming with his. Now he's settling the puck down here. He normally does that little skip and he'll shoot, but he just moves his feet right, and as soon as he goes backhand to forehand the first time, Gospel has to bite, and as he bites, he knew he just had to get it up over his pads, and I think it was you kind of go back to that Hull moment where we completed the job. That one felt just as loud, maybe louder, because obviously they're the current pace setters, the double champions for last year. A team that we hadn't beat yet, we'd kind of got close, but I think we showed our character. We showed that we can play. You know, not only just hold on, but we can play, and we could take the game to a top end team. And you do need some bottle. We need a bit of luck. We need some bottle in a shootout. You need guys to want to step up. And I think one of the keys of that performance was that everybody did, from the top of our lineup, that maybe people out with or in the stands at least, people are going to go, a Peaks and a Dunny. Every week the people expect them to score. But we're showing our teeth now in terms of they're still playing well and they are still putting up numbers. But so is everybody else. We've got some depth scoring. And I was delighted for Mace. I know better than anybody what he's capable of. And by his own admission, he's maybe not been as offensive as he would like at times, but probably since that Raiders game again, it's probably no coincidence that both him and others have stepped up, and we've now got depth scoring. So it's great for him. It's nice for Curtis to shut the door, but as a team, from top to bottom, it was a good one.
It was great to watch, and I think it's quite interesting now when you look at the social media of other clubs. At the start of the season, it was very much a case of we shouldn't be getting beat by the Sharks, or we got beat and it's because we weren't playing particularly well. And there was always a kind of an expectation that we were better than the Sharks. I think there's a bit more respect coming through from most of the teams, shall we say, that if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to be on top of your game. You can't come in and take it for granted that, Sharks are an easy team. And I think our 7 wins out of 9 would indicate that. I was going to ask you a question. Which game do you prefer, or which game are you most happy with? The win in Milton Keynes in regulation, or the win against Leeds in a shootout?
Probably the Milton Keynes game, purely because it's regulation. And if I'm honest, I thought at that stage we were a lot earlier in our season, and it was the first big scalp, if you like.
For signs of what we could do.
For just that kind of unlocking our potential. It's difficult to obviously choose it, because there's then now signs that we are unlocking what we've got here, and there's different elements of, I think like you said, when early in the season, and even when, credit to their clubs, they normally come when asked and do the interviews, and but most coaches that I've watched back, the opposition coaches, the first thing they say is, well, we weren't very good. And to be fair, the last time we got beat 3-1 in Leeds in Boxing Day, and I watched Ryan then, and we weren't very good, even though they won. But this time, it was different, where he conceded that maybe they weren't as good as he would like them to be, but it's probably the first time we've heard somebody say we were better.
Yeah.
And that's a shift in people's mentality that pleases me more than looking at specific Milton Keynes or Leeds, etc., because there has been a shift in their mentality. There has been a shift in what the players are doing. There's been some systematic tweaks that the players are recognising and getting to grips with. The fans will recognise that we're getting better at certain situations now. So the work's been put in. So from, again, I always use the term for top to bottom, because it would have been really easy for us as a club, whether it be from ownership to the management level to the coaching level, to panic again and say, we're going to change guys here, we're going to make these moves, like this is not good enough. But we, as much as anybody, when we were asking for the trusted process, that's where it was coming from. Everybody within knew what we had in this rink, that it's got the potential to be a special group for a first year team. And I think we're getting, I say, me, I'm never going to be completely satisfied, but I think we're definitely getting signs that was the right decision, of just trusting things, tweaking things, making players play with a smile on their face, because then the work rate comes naturally, the results then come naturally, the fans see that and go home happy, regardless, even if there is, because let's not kid ourselves, Andy, there'll be bumps in the road.
Has to be.
There will be bumps in the road, and we're going on the road for 3 full weeks shortly, with due to events being in ice rink. So, anything could happen a little bit when you're five in a row on the road. But if you'd asked me that again maybe 3-4 weeks ago, we probably would have feared that. So the most pleasing of Leeds, Milton Keynes, etc., is more just the fact that we're beating these teams, and teams are now respecting us for that, as opposed to, we shouldn't lose to this team or whatever. Like, we're never going to be that team of we shouldn't lose here, there, or anywhere. We went the next night to Bristol, who are a bottom place team, and at the moment, but at no point did we go expecting or saying, we shouldn't lose this one. We just go and say, if we do our job the hard way is normal for us, we'll get a result, and that's how we've got to look at things.
Well, we'll get there. So we finished this game, overtime, shootout, players up in the bar for interviews, the whole lot, and then we take the longest road there is in the league, the longest travel that there is, and it's the Sharks away to Bristol. How long was it in the bus? 5.5, 6 hours or so?
It's 6.5.
And it was an early face-off as well. Looking at the game on stream, there was a few Sharks fans that went down there, and fair play to everyone who went down, because that's a long trip after a late night, and I believe they got home about 4 a.m. as well, the fans, so fair play to them. But that long trip, first period on stream looked like the players were shattered, looked like they were knackered, to be perfectly honest. There's a lot of effort, a lot of emotional effort clearly went into the Leeds game, and after the first period, I'm sitting at home going, I know I'm trusting the process, but I'm getting a bit worried here, Martin. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think if you put it into perspective, so, and the players are similar to myself, where I left here 11 on Friday. I was still awake at 3 a.m. because my head was still
just the adrenaline and everything,
decompressing. The Leeds game, and probably still had a little thought going forward to the Saturday. We get on the bus for 9 o'clock, and we're there. But first period, you're right. I think we looked second to every puck. Well, we were second to every puck. Wasn't for the want to try him, but we discussed that we've been in the situation of being on the bottom of the league, and they were desperate. We'd beat them twice the week before. Like, they had to win. And they had to come out early and show what they had. They had to be the aggressors. They really should have had more energy than us, and it proved that way. But the end of the first period again, and the players would be able to tell you what they were expecting. But I know even when I got home and spoke to Katie, she was like, "How was the end of the first period?" Because I think a lot of people, maybe, and I say including players, were maybe thinking, you might get a bit angry here. But literally, I pulled up a chair and sat beside them and we discussed story time, we called it, of it's 40 minutes to go. Like we were in Cardiff earlier in the year playing Swindon and we were 2 goals down with a lot less time.
Yeah, a couple of minutes.
We were 2 minutes 9 seconds away and we were 2 goals down at home to Hull. We've obviously got the ability. We've just beat Leeds the night before, so it was a case of saying, listen, we're a good team. Like we've put ourselves in this situation because we're good. We've now put a little bit of a target on our back. The kind of the upstarts. How dare this first year team come in and at that stage sitting in 7th place and beating teams like that? Like you say, we shouldn't lose to this. Well, do you know what? Everybody's trying to win. Everybody's trying to win at home, especially. It was a sold out building. And then we discussed, I mean, you mentioned it, we discussed the fact that we had fans with us, and you could hear them. And there was no way we were going to let down that hardcore bunch that had travelled the same amount of time as us by not looking like we wanted to win.
Yeah.
And we said, we get one, we get two. I always think this team will, when you get one, you'll get a second one. And that was the case. We got a couple in there. End of the second, again, same thing. Like, exact same as the Friday. You win a period, you get a chance to play for the 2 points, make it a 4-point weekend as a worst case. And then obviously we came out and I think we get 3 and 46 seconds.
Yeah. At 5-3,
yeah,
I'm then back at my house. You imagine me sitting there watching it. I'm thinking, right, this game's done and dusted. We've won this. We've came back. We've broken Bristol. Oh no, we hadn't, because they get Fusey scores again against us, brings them right back into it. What were you thinking then?
Again, at no point was I worried. Obviously, at 5-3, my first thing was we got to hold this for longer than we did.
Yeah.
Bailey Harewood scores on a shot that we should do better on, I think, as a group. But then our emotions, they lifted it. They started to become a bit more physical. Our emotions at times got the better of us. If I'm honest, I thought some of these calls were dubious. And we reacted. I'm not saying they were wrong, but we reacted to it, and we were wrong to do that. So we get ourselves in a wee bit of penalty trouble, and our PK had been good for the last few weeks. And the Friday it was really good. And to that point it was good, but I don't know if the stream caught it, but even the go ahead, I hit Peaks's skate. He's in a great spot. He tries to block it, and as soon as he come off, he's like, it's the bad luck. Like I had almost blocked it, and it's positions we'd never been in before. But at no point did we think it was over. I think that was their biggest mistake. They went 6-5 up.
And they still had that major from
still had a
Struan's
part of the
penalty, so they
penalty,
still had that.
But I think in their head, even the way they celebrated that goal, they thought
it was done and dusted.
They had now turned the tables and it was finished. And obviously we call a timeout. We get the goalie off 6-on-4. We had a set play. Again, at that stage, we used Mason in a different capacity. At that stage, it was just go take the goalie's eyes away. He's a pretty big man.
He's a big boy, isn't he?
To see round, but we knew where we were going. Archie scores there. Bit back and forward in the overtime, but I still thought we looked more composed. We get the 5-3. If I'm honest, I did not particularly like. We had a lot of puck and a lot of possession, and we had some chances. But
we looked more dangerous 3-on-3 than we did 5-on-3. It was a lot slower, wasn't it, and deliberate.
It's a difficult situation because you're in overtime, and the key was, let's take our time to finish this. It doesn't have to be rushed, and you don't want to give them anything sneaky on a, if we hit a leg pad at the blue line and they get a short-handed 5-3 breakaway, so it was very deliberate in terms of let's wait for our chances. And then just before I made that little change, because Callie had a half chance in the bump, but we need a right hand shot. I said that to Scotty, I was like, I need you to show for, especially when it was going, our kind of play was going Peaks to Arcee to Dunny, so we need a right hand shot to feed. And obviously then I guess the rest history, because as soon as it went in the stick it was in the net. And Well, again, character for me.
Yeah.
I don't think that we, again, as a team, we panicked. We, even with this situation with Struan, which, if I'm honest to this, I've not properly watched it back yet, but I didn't think it was that bad. But you still got to kill it. And we gave the one up. Again, that whole we bent, but we didn't break. And how many times have we said in the past that good teams find a way? We always have been, but we now believe we're a good team, and we found a way to get it done. And 4 points was massive for us.
It certainly was. Let's have a quick look at those goals.
Well, I don't know if it'll be that quick because there was a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like early doors we were just a wee bit behind the play, a wee step off it. We try and make a long pass here. It probably should just be a quick up or a pass to the middle. We turn the puck over and we let Facey step in there. And to be fair to the boy, he's dangerous. He could score goals. We just put ourselves behind on a soft goal. Then we've got puck, and the puck's on our stick. We turn it over a wee bit, but we go try and win it back. And we never look like we're in trouble here. Kel just fumbles. I mean,
These things
to
happen,
be fair to him, yeah, and it couldn't have felt a worse guy. But again, it's right on Facey's stick, so it's one of them where it kind of wish what it was. It was a small individual error and it can happen to anybody.
I'll bet you he's beating himself up more than anybody else. Because he was man of the match the night before, wasn't he?
Yeah, and at this stage it was, because I think this one here, it just bounces over his stick as well.
Yeah.
He's in a good spot, and I think Curtis expected the pass 9 times out of 10 it would, and you has done him on a short side, which to be fair was a really good finish. Then we kind of started to play. It was almost like that one angered us, and for once we get a wee bit of ozone time. We get a bit of a loose puck battle. You can see Callie deliberately just getting lost at the net front. They leave him alone, and since he's come here, he's no missing any chances. He's been pretty lethal.
He's been a good signing.
Yeah, definitely. He's a good hockey player. Fits in well. He's a good person, and he's slotted in with Peaks and Dunny, who enjoy playing with him as well. Again, we get a wee bit of ozone time again. Same sort of situation. Peaks gets himself lost for the net front, pulls out, and you can see even just for the little clip of the celebration what it meant to us. So it got us right back in there. Then we come to the crazy period, because we get to the start of this third period. Curtis stops the puck and gets us going on the rush. And then there's that little blocker shot again for Gardsey. He seems to be able to find it. And he finds it at big times for us, which is becoming a good skill for him. So
24 goals, I think he's got top scorer on the team in terms of goals.
Well, I mean, he's done a great job.
He's on form just now.
Literally the next shift, we win a face-off. Younger follows it up.
Great wee goal.
Straight on net.
The celebration needs a bit of work, though, doesn't it?
And it catches the goalie probably a bit by surprise. And by this stage, you could tell we're feeling it. We're starting to really settle in and looking at dominating the game. And like we say, Mace was feeling it. And here he's just strength, then there's skill, and then the finish is tidy.
At that point, that was where I nearly spilt my drink, Mark. That's how good it was.
I mean, it was good, and it was good to see him again with a smile on his face. And a shout out to his folks, because they were there and seen that live, so I know how much it meant to them and to Mason. So that was a good spot for us to be in. Then again, this one. It's just a little bit of a mix up on the draw, a bit of a bad bounce off one of our own feet, and I think again kind of catches Curtis a wee bit cold there. So we're at a stage where we just kind of got to relax, and we go and we take a couple of penalties too many. I think, as I said all night, our PK had been good, and that's the one that just hits Peaks' skate. He's in the lane. If that goes anywhere apart from kind of along the ice, he blocks it. Then we get caught up in a bit of a scramble at the net front. then our shape, from a coaching point of view, without giving too much away, we get out our shape just a little bit here, and it just allows that puck to get through. And I think that's the stage where, they thought that.
Yeah, they thought it was done.
They'd won the game. We pull the goalie. We said earlier you could see Mason's in front there, Nolan a bit as well, but Mason doesn't move. He ties their guy up at the net front. He's either getting a tap in or he's making sure that the goalie can't see. That little play, as we said, Peake's done it this time to Olivier.
That was the point where my drink did spill. Just saying.
Really good finish, and nice to see. And this one's unbelievable. Right there, puck stays in. You can see it the whole time.
Yep.
A lesser player doesn't keep that puck in, and a guy with a lesser desire doesn't keep that puck in. Dunny keeps it in. We go across. This is where we wanted the right hand shot. He recognises that.
Boom.
It's on Scotty's stick, and he doesn't miss any chances. So it completed a comeback. Again, it's another 4-point weekend. It keeps the feel-good factor. It keeps the kind of unbeaten run that we keep talking about here in 2024. And it just continues to show the belief we've got. And as I say, for the fans that travelled especially, I was delighted for them. And the support from both home and away at the moment has been great. The Shark Tank itself has been getting busier, as you said earlier, with the comments of the new fans. And the players appreciate that. But when we walked, I think when they came out for warm-up and they seen the flags and then seen the bodies at Bristol, that was a big thing for us. It's a long, long way to go. And, right now we just want to continue finding ways to win.
Yeah.
And we'll take that into this weekend and hopefully do the same again.
Well, as you say, John Dunbar keeping that in at the end of overtime, 2 days in a row, the desire. But that is matched by the fans' desire. And it's a shout out to the fans that went down there, because you kind of sense that without all those flags and without those fans there maybe would have been easier not to put in the effort. But there was a reason there. And fair play to them, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's always a reason, because even when we're on the road, you see the online support, and the support from our supporters has been great. And long may that continue, and can keep bringing your friends and your family and everybody else that wants to come, because
Then I get started into my final message to the fans just
we're
yet.
the only show in town now, but no, it does. It gives you an added, like you say, it gives you a little added incentive,
a boost,
and you want to send the people home happy. So. There's a few messages come to me saying we do it the hard way, but as I've said to them, it's an entertainment business and we're giving you entertainment. So,
well, I mean, I'll tell you what, it's a longer road when you get beat than when you win, because you go home happy, you're chatting away in the car, rather than having a bit of a grump about the amount of money you've spent or whatever it was. And it's been great, and we've been really enjoying it. Before we go, we've obviously got Sheffield. Home and away, we've talked a little about what we expect from there. Anything particular that we need to be wary of or look out for?
I think that they're a team that pounce on your mistakes. When you've got guys like Jonathan Phillips, and you've got guys like Jason Hewitt, and you give them chances, they're going to score. They're going to punish you, and that's probably where we got sucked into their game every time we've played them, rather than trying to make them play our game. And I think we're in a different spot. I think we're more confident. We're a bit more. See, the first couple of games, I think I referred to it within kind of my own circles as we got out NIHL'd by them. They knew how to play this league. They knew the little stick lifts and the little tricks and where they could play heavier than us. And their kind of NIHL IQ was higher than ours, because we'd obviously come for the North 1, and again, no disrespect, but the standard was hugely different. But so I think now that we've been in here a bit now, we're learning, we're proving that we can compete week in, week out, night in, night out in this league. I think our plan is to see a different side of the Sharks rather than worrying about them. We know what they're all about. We know the style of hockey they're going to play. We got to not get sucked into that. We got to stay disciplined. We got to take our chances, because I think in every game we've had 1 or 2 goal games, and we seem to make their. Not again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we seem to make their goalies look better than they are. They're good goalies, but we've wasted too many chances against them. But I don't think they've seen this version of us and the plan is to obviously unleash the version that we've got right now and go there, I say, be the aggressors, establish our forecheck. For them, they'll play the same way. They'll play hard, they'll block shots, they'll try and play on their power play, and they'll try and pounce on our mistakes. So we'll do our preparation. We'll have our video as normal. We've got, as we speak now, we've got our practice that we'll walk through stuff like we've done specifically for Leeds more last week. We'll probably do a bit more. Well, we'll do Sheffield specific because it's the same team over the two. And we'll go there full of confidence, and we'll look to keep this train rolling, as they say, and the streak going. And we're quietly confident. Okay,
well, thanks for that. There should be, from what I can pick up on social media, between 50 and 100 Sharks fans in Sheffield, and obviously a heck of a lot more back here on the Sunday, which will be that Pride shirt night as well. Remember, auction in the bar afterwards. So thank you so much for watching. But just before we go, as always, it's the final word, message to the fans from Coach Grubb.
See, again, it's similar to every week. Firstly, it's thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in us. Some of the noise recently has been phenomenal, and we're growing the fan base. So if we can continue to do that, this team wants to work hard and win on the ice for you guys as much as itself. So we'll keep entertaining you and putting on a show if you keep your end of the bargain. So I think we're in a good spot. Secondly, I'm not sure there's a club in this country that's got the foresight that our owners have to give you that half price offer. So I'm kind of asking you not to let us down and fill this place and take advantage of the cheapness of the tickets on the Sunday. I say double it up with the Pride event, and let's just make it our great weekend. I say we'll continue to do our bit, you continue to do our bit. That Sharks family will keep growing, and hopefully we'll bring in our 4 points.
Thank you so much, Martin, for your time today. As always, it's always a pleasure. Remember, this is probably the last Sharks weekend until 17th of February, which seems like ages away. So get yourself down, and we'll see you all on Sunday. This is Andy Glenn saying cheerio.